Hi, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about greater reality and different entities. And it's not to start listing out all the things that are there. I don't know them. I've encountered some stuff. But I want to talk to you about the fact that, if you're on the spiritual path, if you're working on yourself, really, you're meditating and all that stuff, what you realize is that there is a greater reality than the reality that we are aware of. As you lift up your awareness and consciousness through these awareness techniques that are available, you realize there's more to it than just the physical. This is number one realization. And when it comes in, it's pretty big. And it will come in through different experiences. Now, once you open up to that, you will inadvertently be open to whatever is in this greater reality. And specifically, I want to talk to you about negative entities. There's a lot of them out there. I know I'm not an expert, but as I walk this path, I get to see different things and experience different types of experiences. And I wanted to put this video out there for people who maybe are at the beginning of their journey on their spiritual path, or not even at the beginning, but at the particular time when interesting quote unquote things start happening. And you may notice this because you'll hear astral chat, right, or however you want to call it, telepathic communications, right, which are not constant, right? So you may be thinking, whoa, what's this? Is that schizo or what? Well, it's most likely not. It's up to you. You need to use your own discernment what's going on with your experiences. However, you will be able to start either seeing or hearing entities that are normally not seen or heard by other people. And that can be quite scary. It depends what's going on. Now, something else that can happen is these entities can attach to you, or they can harass you, or they can try to manipulate you. Just in 111-222. So here we go, we're on a roll. So it's important for me to share this because I'm sure that everyone on the path here is going to be having these types of experiences. Now, if this is new for you, and if what I'm telling you is, okay, I've heard of it, or I've started to see this, then you need to be aware that, these entities can be quite insidious and can be very deceiving and can influence you in ways you have no idea. You don't have the power to be aware of that because you're on the beginning of your journey, or where you're at stages of your journey where you don't see it. Well, how can that manifest? Well, your judgment will be clouded and it's going to be very hard for you to know. That's one way. There's many other ways. So you have to really be careful about what you let in, what you let inside your being. Yeah, 333. So you need to be careful because, well, obviously you may be making judgments that are flawed. And I think you will, because it's part of the process. It is part of the process for you to understand that these things exist, that you interact with them, and that gives you a maturity to recognize them, to be able to better shield and guard yourself against influences in greater reality, a reality that is here with us, but that most people do not perceive because they close themselves off to it, because society is built in such a way that we think we're just these physical beings and that's it. There's many reasons. Those are two that come to mind right now. One thing that I think is a big one for all of you watching this, right? You're working on yourself. You're growing spiritually. Was that a wasp? So yeah, sorry about that. I don't really like wasps, and there's loads here. 444. So what is going on? Well, you'll see in the current trend of what's happening, that there's a lot of activations, right? You know, crown chakra activation, this chakra activation. Okay. And there's these different types of meditations that people do to activate neo-human templates and all sorts of stuff that sounds very weird to ordinary people. I'm not saying they're not true. Okay? They could very well be true. I am yet deciding on how much valor or real value they have. It depends where you get them from and what you do. But when you do these things, guess what happens? You open your being up, you open yourself up energetically to external entities coming inside your field. And you may be going, yes, I'm getting so improved, what if you're not? What if by doing a lot of these meditations that are out there on YouTube and all the platforms, what if you're letting in an entity, 555? What if you're letting in an entity that would then start to manipulate you? You see, there's a lot of talk in the spiritual community about, well, you know, when these negative entities come around, you just love and light, or there's different ways to shield yourself against them, strong intent, having a high vibration. I'm not saying those are wrong. Those are absolutely very good. But be aware that there's entities out there that are not going to go, I'm a bad entity. When you're going to open up, they're going to come in and they may just hang around, see how you think, and start to manipulate you slowly for who knows what agenda. If you see yourself doing all sorts of things, you know, you may feel like, you know, you're really motivated by your spirituality or by your other things. But it's really important for you to continuously use your judgment, discern if what you're starting to do is a bit different than what you would normally do. And I would say, be careful about what kinds of meditations you do. Particularly, be careful about things that allow entities to move your physical body. And some of you out there, you know, if you're watching this, you're probably called to this. You will know. You know, your fingers start to move, your hands start to move. I'm going to stop there. You have your own experiences. That, from my experience, is a sign that you may have let in one of these entities. I guess there's many things you can do, but it's not pleasant to get rid of them if they're attached. So that's it. This is an important message for everyone on the spiritual path. As you open up to greater reality, it's full of all sorts of beings and energies. And energies you feel, right? You feel, this place has a bad vibe. Okay, there are sentient energies out there. Smart, sentient, conscious entities that are non-physical. Guess what? They may need the physical body or you to do all sorts of things or influence you in ways. You know, don't get scared. This is part of the process. This is the reality. If this is what you want to do, you are up-leveling yourself. You're understanding and seeing much more than other people are, because you started to accept that you are not just this physical body. It's part of the process, and it's part of that experimentation and growth. But be aware and be mindful. I mean, my view is almost all of you will experience this. It's impossible not to, in my experience and in my view. That's why I'm sharing it. It may help you to curb such influences earlier. You know, I guess you'll curb them when the time is right. There is a role for the darkness in the world. And I don't necessarily mean, you know, I don't mean like wars and stuff, and although those too, but I mean the dark entities and all of these other entities. You know, they're there to give you that difference, right? How would you know to judge? You know, if you see, if you have just white, you have no idea what that is, so you need the black, right? You need the contrast. That's where I'm going. So I'll stop this before it gets too long. Thanks for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working on yourself, really. Sending love to all. Bye.